After coming out that conservative closet on November 4th, 2024, y'all cannot imagine the amount of, whether it was comments or direct messages I got from black folk on my IG specifically. I don't know what it is about Instagram, but it is a cesspool. It attracts the most vile, even if it's not just the most vile individuals, it attracts the worst of people. Right? Like if you go through the comments of an Instagram post as a comparison to like TikTok or YouTube, it just attracts hatred for some reason. But anyway, I digress. After coming out of that conservative closet, making it known who I had voted for based upon my celebration, let's just say I was told on multiple occasions that my black behind was going to be put onto a plantation or sent back to the plantation. Yeah. I was told that Donald Trump, through Project 2025, which we're still waiting on that. I'm waiting on it like a Lil Wayne mixtape back in '06, right? I'm still waiting on where, when, and how, right? Are the shackles going to come through Amazon, USPS? How does this work, right? They said that I was going to get sent back to slavery, that we were going to go back to pre-Jim Crow times. Now, never mind the fact that it was the Democratic plantation that fought to keep slavery. Forget all that, right? It is the Republican candidate that you voted for who is going to send you back to essentially picking cotton. And it seems as if since that has not transpired, right? I presume that you, like I, have not been sent back to a plantation. Now we got individuals such as KJ Smith. I was about to say AJ because I honestly had never heard of this individual until this story came up. So allegedly she is an actress, likely a C to Z list actress. And she basically came out stating that black folk in America, due to the political climate, are unsafe. Therefore, they need to move back to Africa. Yeah. She said this in public. A whole grown human being is still with this type of rhetoric. Now, I'm going to get into the article, but I really want that to sit in. A grown adult in the year of our Lord 2025 said that America is so unsafe for black people that you need to move your behind back to Africa or over to Africa. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. This is straight up, and this ain't to be offensive. And this is coming from a quote unquote tether, right? I'm actually likely going to get myself a nice little I Am Tether hoodie going since, I was born in Africa and became a naturalized citizen within America. Let me tell you a little something about Africa. And I know Africa is a continent, right? There are a multitude of countries, about 55, if not 55 plus countries in Africa. So most of Africa, if somebody from the Western world was just to be dropped in there, right? Like you're used to your modern day technology. You're used to having water, electricity, those types of things on a daily basis. If you were to be dropped in the middle of at least 50% of Africa, most folks would not make it a week. I'm just God honest truth. And I'm talking about me at this point in my life as well, right? There would be a certain point where it's now survival and that survival instinct is kicking in. I would not be comfortable. I would not be over there celebrating and doing dances about a drum circle. That's not what it is. It ain't sweet. Okay. I would be facing an extremely corrupt, openly and outwardly corrupt government who, if I speak out against them, I'll likely go, to prison. I'll be thrown in a cell somewhere. Likely I'm going to be in the middle of genuine socialism, not the cute little airy-fairy one that you get to hypothesize about when you live in a capitalist free market society such as this one. I'm talking about the real deal. Okay. Small little group of individuals who have all the power and you own nothing. So if you were to take your butt back to Africa, that's what you're about to experience at least 50% of the time. And this woman right here is saying black Americans are so unsafe that they need to go to that. To hell with electricity, to hell with the water, to hell with all that. And if you're going to go to the nicest parts of Africa, then what? You're basically just going to the tourist attractions. You're going to the resorts and such. Interesting. But I digress. Let's get into the story, shall we? So this the headline reads, actress says black people should consider moving to other countries due to political climate. Other countries. Y'all hear what she actually said. Actress KJ Smith said that black people should consider moving to other countries due to political climate. During the 56th, of course, NAACP Image Awards on Saturday, a reporter asked Smith what was something she wished was discussed more in the black community. Now, I would say something like, let's abandon the dysfunction, the degeneracy. Let us stop enabling those individuals who are actually, I don't know, bringing death and destruction into our communities. And instead, let's celebrate those who are moving us forward. I would say something like that, right? Let us, quote unquote, divest. They love that word on the left. Let us divest from those individuals who are problematic. Now, some may see me as problematic because I'm telling the damn truth, right? And then they'll let the dope boy get away with what he's doing. They'll let the jacker, the pewer, they'll let those individuals get away with what they're doing, right? But me, who's just pointing out the obvious, is obviously the enemy of the community. But let's continue. She said, understanding our roots, Smith says. I think it's really important, she added. I don't know why they have so many breaks here. Just let her say the whole thing. We're not trapped here. With the political climate that's going on in the United States, there are places we can go. Where can you not go? I'm so confused. Where are these people that are facing, are there still folks who are genuinely on a plantation? I'm not talking about the Democratic plantation that I use as imagery to explain the mentality. Are there people that I'm not knowing of that haven't heard of the Emancipation Proclamation? What the hell is going on? Is there folks that didn't know that the Civil Rights Act was signed? I'm so confused right now. I'm not talking about individual pockets of racism. Sure, that's always going to be there. It's like you go to Africa, tribalism is a very real thing. And in more cases than not, it's going to be even more of a divide and conquer sort of mechanism than race in the Western world today. But where the hell are people not able to go? There are countries, okay, I'll be real. There are places that people aren't able to go. And let's get into it because we're here. Damn it. I have a promise, God. I said, anytime I open my mouth and I turn that camera on, I got to say nothing but the whole truth. So help me, God. Well, whether the camera's on or off. So I'm going to say it as it is. The places that most black folks statistically are to be afraid of is the hood, the ghetto, the slums. That's where you're more likely to lose your life or to, become a victim of some crime or whatever it is. God honest truth. As a black person, in a black ghetto, black hood, right? Just like they say, as a white person, in your own version of the hood or whatever it may be. But statistically speaking, you're still 4 times more likely as a white person to have your life taken by a black individual as opposed to the other way around. That's just the stats, folks. I know you. The reason why I do what I do is because I don't want it to be this way. And I know we can correct, and the only way we do is by holding account to these things. So the fact that she is saying these things openly is actually ridiculous to me. I'm going to do my best to read through as much of this as possible, but damn it, this is my first video in the morning. You understand me? Sun is hitting beautifully. Y'all see this? This is all natural lighting that's hitting right now. Shout out to Wifey. She's always making sure that the space is beautified as everywhere else. Shout out to her new vase right there. Yeah, let's continue. Namaste. There are countries that are receiving us back, citizenship back with open arms. Smith believes it's time for the black community to seriously consider leaving the country. Okay. I want to emphasize that my intention is to inform and empower, not to spread fear. Many black Americans are exploring opportunities to reconnect with their ancestral roots and consider alternative living options, Smith says. Now, this is interesting to me because I hear this conversation in the ether that, there's all of a sudden this, we are FBA, we are foundational black Americans, so this is our home and we ain't going nowhere, right? Because, at first it was America so evil, America so racist, is built on, slavery, built on violence, etc. And then when you say, so why do you stay if you believe all these things, if it's so terrible? And now the new argument is, this is our country and we deserve and it's like, okay. So, if that be the case, then what ancestry are we talking about, right? They got rid of the African American aspect. So you're no longer African, it's black American, right? So I would be excluded and others would now, I guess, be excluded regardless of our experience. But that's interesting to me right there, is that all of a sudden we're going back to the roots. So what roots? Because the only roots as foundational is it's back to the literal democratic plantation. Yeah. Let us continue. Okay. I believe that more Black Americans are recognizing that conditions in the United States are not improving for us. This is being said by a woman who is likely making tens, if not hundreds, if not millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars by playing pretend. Conditions are not improving for us, coming from an individual who literally pretends for a living. She is an actor, a non-essential job. And this is coming from an individual who creates content for a living. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I am, the same level of quote unquote significance to the greater population as your surgeon. So you're an adult pretender. You play pretend for a living in America, and you're paid an exorbitant amount of money for it. Again, value is value. I believe in the free market, free trade. If people want to give millions of dollars to somebody, by golly, do it. Send me millions of dollars if you want to. Okay, I believe in this system. But that right there is absolute delusion or cap. That's what that is. In fact, they seem to be degenerate. Okay, so it's getting worse now. It's getting so bad that she can make millions of dollars pretending. That's how bad it's getting. It's time we consider alternatives, much like other communities have. The Black Sit movement encourages African Americans again, to explore opportunities abroad, particularly in African nations. Ghana, for instance, offers a right of abode. Is that what that is? Not Adobe. I'm used to Adobe. Shout out Premiere Pro. Abode policy allowing people of African descent to live and work indefinitely in the country. Well, I've been to Ghana. It's a beautiful country, beautiful people. Shout out to Ghana. But I will say this. It's advantageous for Americans to come into Ghana and work, because the likelihood is if you're making that trip in the first place, you're probably a higher income individual. It's not necessarily the poverty class who is, going abroad. So, why would you not? As a nation, it would be smart for you to bring more of those individuals who are likely to contribute to your system. So, you shout out to Ghana. If you're going to go to Ghana, do it. Do the damn thing. Sis is at the NAACP Awards, which are not in Ghana. So, I'm just waiting on her to make the first move, I guess. And then maybe everybody else can follow. But if you're just here with it, I'm confused. Why is she not in Ghana yet? Let's continue. Similarly, Benin has introduced a law granting citizenship to descendants of enslaved Africans who can prove their ancestry. Smith explained further that these initiatives provide us with the viable options to reconnect with our roots and seek environments where we are truly valued. You're going to be an anomaly for sure. Like if you travel abroad, depending on where you are as an American, it's like, oh my God, you're from America, blah, blah, blah. But once you start to have a group of individuals within whatever ecosystem and space, and, half of the time people don't assimilate. So you're now just another tribe of people, and they're going to find a problem with you at some point. Or you're going to find a problem with those individuals. Again, there's tribalism. It's very real. Tribalism, and I'm not saying it in the Neanderthalic, Bushman context of loincloths. No, I'm talking about tribalism as far as I am of these people and these customs in these ways. You're of that and that and that. A lot of the American customs, the things that people are used to being and how they express themselves are not even allowed in a lot of Africa. When Obama was trying to push the alphabet agenda, it didn't work out. It didn't work out in his favor. They were not having it. They're not for it. You try to go over there and you're unaliving all the babies, they ain't about to have it like that. That's not what it's going to be, let alone what your experience is going to be. Are you used to mosquitoes every day? Every day. Maybe you're in Florida or something like that, so, that might be a thing. Are you used to flies every day? This ain't even me trying to be funny. I'm just saying, are Otherwise, are you going to live in the wealthiest, right? Which basically you just become a part of the upper class. You're not really associating with the everyday people. What are you learning about your culture? All you're doing is getting the westernized version of Africa. So what are we actually talking about here? We got to be honest, folks. We got to start telling the truth, because this is nothing but cap or just complete delusion from individuals who just don't know. So let's see. Since 2020, Sierra Leone has offered citizenship to individuals of African descent who can trace their lineage. Okay, so they're going to continue that. She continues. Organizations with the Exodus Alliance are facilitating these connections aimed to assist 1 million African-American families in relocating to Africa. We still got folks who said they were going to leave when Trump got elected the first time. They still here. It's damn near 10 years later. They are still here. I was in high school. I was just out of high school when they were talking about this. I'm a grown man right now. You understand me? A whole entire grown man. And the same people are still talking about, oh, we're going to leave. It's a damn shame. So this is a chick who was on Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is a hilarious show. I love that show. Queen Sugar, don't know what that is. Blackish, I liked the show. Most of it. Let's see. The NAACP Image Awards honor performances in arts. Most of okay. Former Vice President. Oh my God. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is also in attendance, receiving the chair. I think I seen a little clip of that. Yeah, Shawty was off the henny as per usual. She was off the henny for sure. Allegedly, she was off the henny. Allegedly, she is a not so recovered holic. So let me see. Many Hollywood actors have been critical of President Trump and threatening to leave the U.S. Yeah, so there's a lot of Hollywood that's been talking, including, Sharon Stone, Cher, Barbara Streisand, all these other clowns who never left in the first place. If they're on Epstein's list, they're likely, or at least the more loggings that they have on Epstein's list, the more likely they talk about how they're going to leave, and they never actually did. So we're still waiting on y'all. We're still waiting. Like I would gladly, even assist maybe in finances or whatever it is, or help you pack if you really want to go. Seriously. And then I'll likely see you a week, if not, a couple of days later. And we can reconvene this entire thing, and you will come to realize the advantages of living in such a society. That type of thing. They call me a tap dancer, sellout for pointing out the obvious. But if you don't believe what I'm saying, then why are you here? Well, because I can't leave. No, you can leave. You're just choosing not to, because you know that there's going to be a change and you're afraid of that change. Again, some people go and they thrive, few and far between. Some are black, some are white, and anywhere in between that, right? But don't get it twisted that just because you have this sentiment means that you actually are going to do anything about it. Miss KJ Smith, who still lives in, this is in Pasadena, California. You live in the most expensive state in the entire universe. This type of, I'm gonna go ahead and get me a little something to drink, because I need to replenish my electrolytes right now, because this right here got me drained. I appreciate you for tapping into this video, and if you would like to show some love to the channel, make sure to click the link below titled Buy Me a Coffee, or you can send a Cash App, or just keep showing up. I'll keep showing up, you keep showing up, and it'll be a beautiful thing. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light.